Gracias, Commissioner Santini. Es un placer estar aquí en San Juan con ustedes y aquí, especialmente en el Centro de Innovación Social. Mi español es nomás así, entonces voy a hablar en inglés. Pero I want to thank Secretary of State Victor Suarez and Secretary Lastra as well for being here and for their leadership. I want to thank all of the mayors who are in attendance. Who are our mayors? Los alcaldes, ¿dónde están? I had the privilege of serving as mayor of San Antonio, Texas, as Commissioner Santini said, and it was a real honor growing up in San Antonio and getting to represent the people of San Antonio. And I found that serving as mayor is unlike serving in any other capacity because there's a real pride in the community that you get to represent and embody. And oftentimes, people of different backgrounds and walks of life all roll up their sleeves and work together in the best interest of the local community, the city or the town. And so I want to thank our mayors for the work that they're doing. I also want to thank Ed and Efrain, our regional administrator and our local housing field office director, for their good work at HUD. And to all of the distinguished guests that we have here today, thank you for being here. I'm amazed by what I've seen here this morning. This is the first time that I've seen anything like this in all of my travels. Over the last year and a half, I've had the chance to visit more than 80 communities in the United States. And everywhere I go, I tell folks that HUD is the Department of Opportunity, because we believe that housing provides a powerful platform to spark greater opportunity in people's lives. But one of the ingredients of that opportunity is making sure that the funds that we invest in local communities are well used. A lot of times they are well used, and I've seen examples of that here in San Juan and throughout the United States as well. But a lot of times they're not. And oftentimes, the number one reason that they are not, when they are not used as they should be, is because there was not the technical capacity, the understanding of the rules and the regulations and the requirements of HUD programs in order to make sure that the money was well spent. And this is the most robust effort that I have seen to date to try and change that, to try and improve the technical capacity of local administrative officials, of individuals who are charged with making sure that these projects are done right. And so I want to commend each and every one of the staff members here at the Centro de Innovación Social. Let's give them a round of applause for the great work that they're doing. Some of the worst calls that I've had to make in my time as HUD Secretary have been to mayors or to other local elected officials to tell them that we were going to have to take money back or that we couldn't give them more money because other funds had not been well spent. And this is all about changing that, ensuring that the knowledge is there to do an even better job. It's also a wonderful, I think, example of the kinds of investment that HUD is making that are making a difference in the United States and our territories. HUD is contributing to this effort $1 million of CDBG technical assistance funds over the next 4 years because we want to empower local governments and places like this with the tools that they need to succeed. We believe at HUD that we are the Department of Opportunity because we know that what we do is more than just about bricks and mortar. We provide funds for housing, but it's so much more than that. It is the chance to make a better life for oneself, whether we're talking about public housing or funds to make sure that no one is homeless, or Section 8 vouchers so that people can go and get a place to live in the private market. All of these different ways are at their essence a ticket to opportunity in the United States and here in Puerto Rico. I've had a wonderful visit. This is the first time that I've ever visited Puerto Rico. It's more beautiful than I had heard even. I had heard it was very, very beautiful, and it's even more beautiful than I'd heard. My only regret so far is that we have been so busy that I haven't had the opportunity to get down to the beach at all. Although I leave this afternoon, and before we do, we're going to have a chance to go to Old San Juan and make sure that I get my wife something to take back to Washington, D.C. Yesterday, I announced that HUD, along with the governor, we announced that HUD is making $200 million in investments to develop and or rehabilitate 750 low-income housing units at 7 locations across the island. This is the beginning of a 10-year effort with the Puerto Rico Department of Housing to develop or rehab 10,000 units of housing that'll put thousands of people to work and ensure that more people have a place to live. The Obama administration is going to take action any way that we can to support Puerto Rico. I hope you know that you have a president that is making Puerto Rico a top priority of his administration. In 2011, the president became the first American president to visit Puerto Rico since John Kennedy, many years earlier. More recently, as Puerto Rico has gone through challenging times, the president has made clear to me and to the cabinet members how important it is that each of us do what we can for Puerto Rico. A number of my fellow cabinet members have visited Puerto Rico in recent months to announce efforts that are going to bolster infrastructure, that will increase travel and tourism to the island, and also spark agricultural development. The Department of Housing and Urban Development is proud to be a part of that effort, and we will continue to look for ways that we can work with you to spark greater housing opportunity in people's lives here on the island. You know, even though the federal government is taking bold action, as a former mayor, I also know that local leaders like you are on the front lines of progress. I know that oftentimes that you see the challenges first because you're closest to the community, and that you know the needs in your area better than any of us in Washington, D.C. Mayors and other local leaders really are in the driver's seat of shaping the future. And that's why last week I went to the United Nations as part of the preparation for the Habitat 3 United Nations Conference this fall, and asked mayors from across the globe to consider 3 things. First, to invest in shared prosperity, building new schools, new parks, new affordable housing, and other infrastructure in underserved neighborhoods. I asked them to embrace regionalism with urban, suburban, and rural communities working together, because we know that the futures of these communities are intertwined. And I also asked them to do everything possible to foster greater openness and freedom so that every person has the chance to unlock their potential. I have a twin brother, Joaquin. Joaquin's in Congress, and él somos gemelos, y él dice que la diferencia es que yo soy el más feo. Pero la verdad es que yo soy el mayor de 1 minuto. And Joaquin and I grew up on the west side of San Antonio, in a very Latino community there in the city. And I was blessed in my own life to be able to go to the public schools of San Antonio and then go to college and go to law school and to become a professional, an attorney, go into public service. I feel like I've reached my American dream. And fundamentally, what we want for everyone here in Puerto Rico is that they too can reach their dreams. We're happy to be part of the solution to providing that. We also know that in this age of limited funding, that this center stands ready to help you make the most of every dollar, to be innovative and creative in planning for the future, and in helping you build a stronger Puerto Rico in its own way. All of us in the Obama administration have your backs as well. As President Obama said during his visit to San Juan in 2011, in these challenging times, people on this island don't quit. We don't turn back. Instead, we renew the American dream. We have done it before, and we'll do it again. Yo estoy aquí para decirles que tienen un aliado en HUD, que está a su lado y luchará por su bienestar para hacer la realidad un mejor futuro para todos. Muchísimas gracias.